Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, about this. My buddy Burke from over at the Road Odyssey channel brought the car, hopefully that we could do some work on it for somebody else. They were involved obviously in a little fender bender. I'm not going to go into detail with it. I don't know anything more than apparently the other driver was uninsured, and which resulted in this driver being underinsured for the accident, and so we'll leave it at that. But so what I'm going to try to do is as inexpensively as possible, we're going to repair all this damage and get the car back on the road. But this is probably going to be a multi-part video, because today all I want to do is an assessment to find out some things about it. So let's go ahead and take a look around and see what we can discover. All right, initially we were looking at the driver's side, and from here it looks fantastic. I don't see any issues. You notice the wheels are straight and whatnot. And then we come around to the passenger side, and I'm guessing, or what I understand happened, is that there was a trailer or something and the tail swing came out and blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, it contacted this corner, and so it kind of ripped things up. And the reason that I agreed to take on the project is because my initial assessment was that everything, all the damage was contained outboard of the frame rails and all of that stuff, and so I don't see that anything in there is bent. But as you can see, the wheel on this side is kind of towed out, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the wheel off and take a peek underneath and see if any of the suspension components are damaged, or which ones are damaged. Obviously something's damaged, but I want to see if we can figure out which ones they are and go from there to get them ordered and get the parts replaced. Let's go ahead and knock this wheel off real quick. Huh, thought that one was going to be tore up. No, it is. It's broken. Okay. All right, let me go grab a flashlight and I'll be right back. All right, so looking at all this, strut, spring, that all looks good. The axle, that all looks fine. Lower control arm looks fine. Brake caliper and rotor, that actually all looks to be in good shape. The sway bar looks fine, all the end links, all that good stuff, except that right there. That is the inner tie rod, and so that part is clearly not good. But I think suspension-wise, that appears to be the only damaged part. And my initial concern, I'm not worried about all the body panels and all that stuff right now. I'm worried about structure, making sure that the structure is all, doesn't have any issues. Everything is still together, which it all is. No damage. You've got an ant farm living in here, though. We're going to have to probably take care of that. I don't like ants. I'm not a fan of ants at all. So anyway, everything else, all the structure, I mean, you can see spots like right here where there was a little bit of contact, but it's not it just basically scraped paint off of it. the washer fluid reservoir took a hit, and then the crash bar. We'll have to figure out how to deal with that part. Probably, I think it's steel, and if it's steel, we're good. I can weld that. And then this extension piece out here, so we'll have to take the whole front off because the front bumper cover is bad. It looks like really not a whole lot of stuff is bad, damaged, whatnot. I think it's very fortunate. So anyway, there we go. That's the initial assessment. I'm probably going to call this a video until I start collecting parts, but knowing that that's the first bad piece, I'll probably see if I can source that locally and then replace it. My point is, or my goal is, to have the front suspension usable so the car can be moved around without dragging tires and stuff, and go from there. But anyway, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm not going to lie, that initial assessment, it didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. Really, I'm pretty happy with what I see. No major damage. I kind of suspected, with the tires kind of towed out like they were, that's probably what happened, is that part took the majority of the hit. And of course sheet metal took the hit, but I'm not really concerned about that. These cars are probably plenty of them in wrecking yards and stuff like that around here, so I can go get parts for relatively cheap, hopefully. But probably most of them were front end hit, so we'll see how that works out. All I can hope is that somebody had maybe a rear end collision and the front of their car is fine, and I get lucky enough that it's even the same paint color. But in the next video, I'm going to start actually tearing in, removing all the fender, remove the fender, remove as much of the damaged parts that I can, and make that shopping list to get that part done. But I want to get the front suspension at least straight, make sure that it is fixable, and then we'll start worrying about the rest of it. So other than that, this should be a fun project. I don't know how usable the information will be for anybody, and I've never pulled one of those, on a Hyundai. Never pulled one of those out, but I can't imagine that it's that difficult. It's probably going to need a special tool to unscrew it, and other than that, it'll be fine. But when I go to do that part of it, I'll throw it up on the quick jack, get underneath it where we can actually work on it, pull the bottom body panels off of it, get everything exposed, and then get to work on it. So hey, anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching Yellow Jacket Garage, and we'll see you on down the road. Hopefully this thing will be on down the road sooner rather than later. Y'all take care.